Florida Christian puppeteer Ronald William Brown has been convicted of possession of child pornography. He also faced a charge of conspiracy to kidnap a child, but he was not convicted on that charge. It turns out that last year authorities arrested him because they found child pornography in his home, and they also found that he had fantasies about killing children and eating them. And it's really scary, especially considering what he did for a profession. As I mentioned, he was a puppeteer, a Christian puppeteer at that.
Of course.
And
of course
behind the scenes, he was just doing disgusting, hideous things with child pornography and fantasizing about doing disgusting and hideous things with children.
So before we go to the video where we show you this character, two other things you should know. One, he fantasized and talked to others about the idea of like kidnapping, raping and chopping up and eating kids as young as 2 years old, okay? And then one time he'd been pulled over.
Yes, he got pulled over in 1998, and the police officer found young boy's underwear between the passenger seat and the driver's seat. The cop asked him about it, and he said, "Oh, no, it's underwear that I used to dress up my puppet."
Now, to be fair, that was a while back, and he's never been convicted of all that stuff. But that story scared the hell out of me, because remember, this is only the stuff they found on him. You don't know what they didn't find on him, right? And what they found was hideous enough. Now, I want to give you the context of a video from a while back where he's doing his little puppet act, and as you know what's going on actually in his mind, it even feels spookier, creepier, and just unbelievably disgusting. Watch.
When I got over there, I noticed that some of the kids were kind of giggling and laughing, you know, and I wondered why they were doing that. Well, why were they doing it? Well, they said, "Marty, come over here and take a look at our pictures." So I walked on over there and I took a look. They were looking at some dirty pictures and they wanted me to look too. Well, Marty, what did you do? Well, I said, "Look, guys, I like you a lot and I want to play with you, but I can't look at those pictures. I just can't do it." Well, what did they say, Marty? They said, "Oh, Marty, come on. Your parents are in the house. No one will see." Well, what did you say? I said, "That may be true, but I know someone who will see, and that's God."
Ugh, God. So many creepy things about that. First of all, the puppet. How does that not scare children? Who's like into watching that for entertainment? And also, I thought ventriloquists were supposed to like manipulate the puppet and speak for the puppet without moving their lips.
Yeah, it's obvious he's terrible at it, but he doesn't care. It's just an excuse to get close to the kids.
He's so creepy.
And then he's doing an anti-porn little thing there, ironically. Meanwhile, as he goes home and watches child porn and thinks about cannibalizing young kids, okay? And to me, unfortunately, two things. One, of course, the hypocrisy of people who pretend to be the most moral. No matter what religion, what culture, it doesn't matter. Watch out for the people pretending to be the most righteous, right? Those are the guys that you got to be most careful with, unfortunately, right? And then number two, God damn it, I feel like you can't trust your kids with anybody anymore.
That's the scariest part about this. I mean, first you hear about the Catholic priests, and then you hear about the Boy Scouts, and then of course you have incidents like this, where, as you mentioned, the most righteous people will end up being the worst in terms of their morality. And it's just so scary. I mean, I know that it probably impacts you way more than it does me because I don't have kids, but I would imagine that if I had kids, I would be so scared to leave them alone with any adult. I mean, teachers are predators sometimes, and of course not all teachers, but we do these stories all the time. It's very prevalent.
And so when you see something like this, you know that he probably got into the puppeteering because he wanted to be closer to kids.
Exactly.
So then you think, well, who else is close to kids, and why did they decide to do that profession? And I started thinking, I saw there was at a party there was a balloon guy that had come to entertain the kids. Then I started thinking, should I be worried about the balloon guy? You know, and it's. Look, the reality is, I hope that the overwhelming majority of those people are really decent people who like to, you know, play with kids and are good people and etc., right? But the 1% or however, whatever percentage this is, unfortunately poisons it for everybody.
Definitely.
And thank God they caught this guy.
Thank God they caught him, they prosecuted him, they convicted him, and he will serve 20 years in prison as a result.